Hello fellow crafters, my name is George and this is the Spare Time G, and today we're gonna make Tobirama, the second Hokage from the Naruto universe. So, as this sculpture is quite small, you do not really need to bother and create any kind of frame for it. The strength of the clay will support its weight, and you are fine just going with it, creating the torso and legs and hands, of course, later on to create and blend them together. Create them separately like this will allow you to first be close and to protect the proportions of the human body. And for the second, you're more able to kind of understand what thickness they need to be, as I'm going to coat it with the black clay, which is going to make hands, torso and legs bulkier. So I had to create the initial sizes much more slimmer than I intend them to be at the end. As you can see, I have connected them, the legs and the hands to the torso, and at the same time have created this muscular pattern on the body. I quite regretted it later on because it is not showing at all onto the body armor of Tobirama, and you don't really need to bother with it. So after you are done with that, you can try and find your favorite pose of him, standing or sitting. I have decided to create this iconic pose of him. As he is a sensory type, he usually uses his abilities to touch the ground and feel the enemies on the surroundings. So I have decided to create this pose for him. Here you can see that I have already started the clay layering process. I mean, covering the main base with the darker clay and creating his under armor clothing, so to say. The top part I have decided to have more lighter with a different tone, and the trousers are darker, almost black. Also, you will have to create this thickness on the thighs and also try to emulate the bumps and dips as they are created by the clothing, irregularities on the surface of the clothing, of course. And once you're done with the layering process, you can cover it up with the armor. The only thing is that you don't really need to layer the stomach part with the darker clay, because it is almost completely protected with the armor, as you can see here, and that's what I have created with the gray clay. And then later on, of course, I'm going to cover it up with blue and at the same time create this feeling of overlapping armor plates on him. This is almost the finished look of his armor, of his blue armor. Perhaps it is blue because of his water style, I'm not sure about that. And it was quite hard to layer it up and maintain this overall smooth surface of the armor at the same time with all these curves and small little tiny holes in which I had to crack and get this blue clay inside. And only the hardcore fans maybe will notice that the back portion of his armor do not look 100% accurate to the anime and manga, because on those instances, the back part of Tobirama's back, upper back at least, is completely exposed. But I have kind of decided that if you are having armor, why not cover the whole body with it, and then went with this more aesthetic look of the armor. So right now you will have to create limbs. It is quite complicated to say this word and at the same time to create limbs at this scale. You will have, of course, to create hands with the yellow clay, which are almost completely bare. And here you can see the head, which is very complicated. I spent probably about 1.5 hours making it. The shape was quite tough to create. Then all these shadows and surfaces on the face, then using these tiny red and white pieces in order to create eyes or these lines on his face. And I'm very glad to kind of come up with this idea of using aluminum foil for covering up the face guard on his. And that's it, we are done. The Tobirama project is over. I had a lot of fun and also tried quite hard to make this all these small details like kunai, hands and face, of course, as defined as I could. And this is my second project from Naruto anime, first one being Minato's kunai. And down into the comment section, please tell me who is your favorite character from Naruto anime and why, what aspects of his or her character makes it that way. For me, I like Tobirama because of his look and his overall character, and I was quite sad to understand at the end how not as developed of a character he was, despite being the second Hokage, the brother of Hashirama, and inventor of so many jutsus. Arigato for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I enjoyed making it. It was quite a big fan, and I'm also very happy that you took your time and fill up the poll. And in the future, of course, I intend to create more polls and decide that way what to sculpt next. Have a nice day and see you next time. Goodbye.